The dog has nothing to do with your case.
Okay.
Mr. Feaster is not your caretaker.
Understand?
Mr. Feaster didn't have to do anything. I asked if he would do that because that was a concern of yours. He
Understand.
did it, but he can't do it alone. He needed his prosecutor to sign off on it. Hello, can you unmute and state your name?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I apologize. I have low vision. I can't see I can't see the
Gotcha.
screen. So,
Okay, it's okay. The plaintiff's attorney is not here. I guess they're saying he signed in, but hasn't signed back in. You're here. Are you moving to dismiss this case, ma'am?
what does that entirely mean?
That means this case would be over, at least temporarily,
Then
because
yes,
they're not
please.
here. Pardon?
Does that mean that they would have to serve me all over again?
I'm sorry?
Does that mean that I would need to be served all over again?
Well, they'd probably have to start over. They'd have to serve you with something.
Okay. Then yes, I would like to dismiss.
Case dismissed.
Thank you
That's
so
without
much.
prejudice. They may come back and they may try to do something, but they'll have to. They'll at least have to try to start this case over and move to set it aside. But you'll get an opportunity to be heard if that happens, okay?
Okay, moving forward, what do I do now?
What do you mean?
Do I stay put? Can I tell you about the case or?
No, you can't tell me about it. But yeah, you can stay where you are because I'm not signing. This case is dismissed, so I'm not signing any orders telling you have to do anything.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a great
do you have
New
any
Year.
advice about, I'm sorry, do you have any advice about how I should move forward?
No, I can't
Oh,
give. I can't give you legal advice.
Okay, what about the fact that the power has been turned off prior
Excuse
to
me?
ever receiving any paperwork? There
Hold on
is
a
no
second,
power
man.
in this.
Okay, hang on. I may vacate my dismissal on this, but hold on. You. All right. Are you sight impaired, ma'am?
Yes,
Okay, and you're telling me now that the heat is off?
yes,
electricity?
on December 19th, before ever receiving any warning, they completely turned the power off, and I've been living here with no power since then.
Your goodness. Do you have a lease there? I do see it. Hold
Yes,
on. Okay, your lease expired, it looks like. Are you there by yourself, ma'am, or?
I have my best friend that's here that helps me with my vision.
Got it.
He's present.
So you've been without electricity for
Just about
since
a
the
week, and
19th?
yes, and that's actually about 2 months ago. My landlord turned off the power in the back of the house, which was the room that I was renting out. So I had to move my bed out to the kitchen area because that was where she just cut half of the power. So I had to move into the living room area to stay warm. And then now on the 19th of December, she fully cut off all the power. So
Was she supposed to, I'm trying to look through your lease real quick. Is it up to her utilities? Hang on. So you're sure she shut it off?
yes, I asked her about it and she was coy. So I don't know how I could prove that it was her giving. I don't have proof of it being specifically her.
Okay,
But there's
let's do.
people that live above me that they have power. It's just the bottom part of the apartment that has been shut off. So this whole
Okay.
building is not completely without power, just where I reside.
I got you. So here's what I'm going to do, ma'am. I'm going to vacate the dismissal. I'm not going to dismiss the case. Okay. Because you can't continue like this, and it's about to get very cold out there soon.
Okay.
Here's what we're going to do. Their attorney signed in, but then signed out.
Okay.
So, I don't want to put you out to the 10th, which is my next date, with the circumstances as you're explaining them. Follow
Okay.
that? So,
Yes.
what I want to do. Okay. I want noon. Yeah. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to sign back on at noon today.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to try to get to the attorney in this to tell him that we want to see him here at noon today.
Okay.
And let's see if we can get some of that resolved. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So sign back on at noon. I'm not dismissing your case at this point. Sign back on at noon. We'll get the attorney here and see what we can do. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Have a good
You're
New Year.
welcome. You're welcome. We'll talk to you at noon. Okay. Take
Okay.
care.
Thank you.
That's it for that
How do
blog.
I do?
14A stands in recess.
I don't know how to hang up. Oh, they did it for me. He was not very happy.
You're muted, Mr. Jerkis.
Edward Drukas for the plaintiff.
And your name, ma'am?
Brienne Portia?
Portia. All right.
Your Honor,
Mr.
I apologize for this morning. I was having technical difficulties. I did become aware of what occurred, and I believe I have rectified that situation. I need to get confirmation from Brienne or the tenant. Has there been any change since this morning, Brianna?
Yeah, it's Brienne. Yes, thank you. The power is back on. Thank you so much for that. It's
Okay, so the
life-saving.
power is back on. Well, I'm going to have to ask the question so that we know. I would certainly just then go ahead. I think this was going to be dismissed, right? It was going to be
Yes.
dismissed. However, the real question for the court becomes 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I can't read what
6,
you
7,
put in the
8,
chat.
9. It's okay. It's okay, ma'am. What was in the chat? What? I'm not sure what got put in the chat, but it was somebody else. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's okay. Here's what the issue is. Who shut off the electricity?
I would have the understanding that it is in the landlord's name. And there are a couple units in that property, and I think the wrong one got turned off. And it was never brought to the attention that it was her specific unit.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I reached out to my landlord, Diana, watches, and I did get a response. So she was aware that the power was cut off the day after. I technically did not even receive my summonings because, like I told you previously, I have a partner here that helps me with my vision. And when I was supposedly served my summonings, I technically wasn't even served. They knocked on the door and I wasn't available, and they threw the paper at my partner.
Okay.
And,
All right. I'm not going to worry about that. Here's what I'm
Right.
getting at. I guess I was getting at. Mr. Drukas, I'm
Yes,
not
Your
going
Honor.
to dismiss this. I'm going to set this over to the 10 because and you may want to have your client and attempt to try to negotiate it. But if she's without power for those 9 days, your client may very much owe about $1,800 minimum to the defendant.
Is there any way that we can address escrow in the interim? Because this was a lease that ended back almost 6 months ago, or in August, and there have been no payments that have
I
been
asked
made.
for a bill and
Hold
I was
on,
never received.
ma'am,
Yes,
stop.
sir.
There's been no payments?
Yeah, there's been no payments for
Well, how much is the monthly rent?
the monthly rent is at 500.
So 500, and so how much is plaintiff claiming she owes?
Currently, we have a balance at 3480.
3480?
Correct.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna have to put anything into escrow at this point because the issue is gonna be your client may well owe her about 1,800 of that.
Here's where the legal consequences start to become very real. The judge is now talking about financial liability, and not a small amount. Under housing laws, denying essential utilities can result in serious penalties, including damages owed to the tenant. What's fascinating is how the case flips. Initially, it looked like the tenant owed money, but now the judge is suggesting the landlord might actually owe the tenant instead. This is a perfect example of how quickly legal narratives can change when new evidence comes to light.
And that's the floor of it under the lockout statute. So, I mean, she may indeed end up owing her more. So why would I have her pay escrow at this point in time? So
Well,
I'm
it would
not
be-
dismissing the case. We're going to resolve this issue or figure out how we're going to resolve this issue. I'm going to set this over to January 10th, 2025 at 2 p.m. in person.
Thank you, Aaron.
Your Honor, where is this located?
At the service center by the Washtenaw County Jail, you know where we are, Hogback and Carpenter.
I'm sorry, what name? Hardback?
Hogback and Carpenter.
Hogback, okay, and Carpenter. I am
Well,
familiar with that.
if you say Hogback like that, then that means you don't know where you're going because everybody around knows where Hogback is. So here's
I'm not
all right.
I'm not from here. I just moved here, so
Okay, no, and I can tell when you said Hogback. Okay, yeah, it's here.
okay. You got that. Okay. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. We'll see you
Is
then.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead. What?
What will I need to go to? How do I don't know what. So I go there. Do I need anything?
What I've heard today, you just need to get here to the court hearing. We're going to try to flush out what we can flush out.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a good New Year.
And my phone number is on the
Thank you.
paperwork. If you can give me a call, certainly I'd like to chat before the next hearing.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Lacey Matson, P87729 on behalf of the plaintiff.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing just lovely. Thank you for asking. How are you? All right. And also Dorothy Williams. All right. So last time we were here, there was 1,066.69. How much is owing at this point?
Your Honor, I have rents to retain of $856.64. Cost of $240 for a total of $1,096.64.
Yeah, went up a little bit. All right. How are we going to get this paid off?
It's already paid, sir. They lost it.
Okay.
They lost my rent.
Hold on.
I have receipts. I gave them receipts. She took a photocopy of it.
Who?
The lady that was up there in the rent office, her name was Dana. We don't have management because everyone has quit and my rent came up missing, and the woman that was there, she quit or got fired. Now,
Oh. All right. Are you gonna have your January rent?
yes,
Okay, when are you gonna pay your January rent?
on the 3rd,
Okay, then here's what I'm gonna do. What's your monthly rent?
$657 plus the water bill. My mother is 94 years old.
Yes, I recall, ma'am, the last time you were here.
I'm trying to stay calm, sir, but I am so upset because I have never went without paying the rent. And here these people got me up in here defending myself, and I got receipts, a bag of receipts, a bag.
So you pay your 657 plus whatever your other charges are. You're to pay that by January 3rd, 2025.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I pay it
Pay
every
that
month.
rent. So this way the number doesn't get worse. So everything is done, and then we can try to figure out where we go from here on this. I'll adjourn this then to January 10th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Hello.
3 p.m.
Okay, at 3 p.m. Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
we'll figure it out in terms of what was lost and when it was lost and anything along those lines. Okay.
Yeah, and can I say something? They told me that I had to run this thing down. I called MoneyGram. MoneyGram said that one money order was cashed on the 7th. Another one was cashed on the 8th. What the heck? What the heck?
Okay.
And then you're gonna send me papers talking about find it? You find it. I told them you lost it, you find it. Doggone they time. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. My mother is 94 years old. She has a colostomy bag on one side and a tube in her gallbladder on the other side. We cannot afford not to pay our rent. She's 94.
Ma'am.
Doggone they time.
Ma'am.
Yes. Yes, sir.
What I need you to do is if you got confirmation that those were cash,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to get written confirmation from MoneyGram
Mm-hmm.
that that has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Bring that to the next hearing
Okay.
because that's going to be important for us trying to figure out what happened.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Happy New Year, Judge
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
And Happy New Year to everybody.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
is that amount to be paid for both this matter and the past matter to my client, or are we putting that in escrow with the court?
She's gonna pay it to your client. She's gone, but that's where I'm sure she's gonna pay it because
Okay,
your
Thank-
client's gonna have to hear it. Okay.
Carissa Gazzari appearing for plaintiff.
Good morning, I'm here. I don't know what's wrong with this phone.
Use iPhone 1.
Judge
Okay.
Simpson, can you hear me? Oh,
Yes,
Lord.
yes, ma'am. I can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Okay, I
Okay.
can't see you, but we
I'm
can hear
trying
you.
to get it. Oh, God. Okay.
Okay, it's okay. There you go. We got you. Now I see you. Now I hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Nice hat. All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay. Mrs. Harry, how much does she? What's the plaintiff's claim?
The outstanding balance is $2,275.69, which includes $172 in court costs.
Okay, Miss Mills, how are we going to get that paid?
So, Judge Simpson, I have all of the money in my account. I just have refused to pay it because I am going through some tremendous problems over here. And I
Okay.
wanted to wait until I talked to you. I've been trying to reach out to legal aid. I've reached out to Melissa. I'm having a mice issue here. I have pictures of all of this. I'm still having issues of like a black substance coming through my vents, getting in my freezer. It's a wreck over here. So I got upset and I just refused to pay because I've been without heat for 7 days. These past I'm having to relocate to family members' house, and they haven't even came they've been like half fixing my stuff over here, and I'm upset about it. And I feel like I don't want to pay them until I figure out what's going on, because I feel like they're getting down on me, and I'm like, I'm just gonna hold my money until I talk to the judge, because I want out of this lease, because I'm not comfortable here, Judge Simpson. I am not comfortable here at all.
Okay, let's do this. All right. I need you to file a written answer with the court laying out all of that. Okay, I'll give you to January 6th to get that done. Okay?
I don't know how to do
all
that.
of you.
Can you tell me how to? I'm sorry.
It's okay. You can, if you put it on paper and just say, here are my complaints, that'll work for right now. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and this is why I'm not paying issues. If you get through legal services, they can do something more formal, but let's try to just get chiefly what your complaints are right now, okay? Now, you say you have the 2,275.69?
I have it right now. I
Okay, hold on.
trying to move.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hang on. All right, here's what I want you to do is I need you to put that in. Why don't you put that in the court escrow along with your January rent? Okay. Now I'm having you do that because I got to protect the plaintiff's interest. I got to protect your interest.
Okay.
Once we get through the issues regarding everything, I'll just figure out how I'll split it. Probably nobody will be happy or somebody will be unhappy, but we'll figure it out at that point. Okay.
So can you tell me how to put, do I come to the court to put the 2,300?
Yes. Yeah, you have to come to court, put that into court escrow. It has to be in cash.
I'll come. Okay, I'm on the way. I'll come now because and Judge Simpson, I really want out of this lease. I don't feel like I should be penalized. I want some. I couldn't even have a good Christmas or anything because there's mice. There's things going on here, and I don't even want anyone here because it's embarrassing. And I pay all this money, and
Okay, Miss Mills. I heard you when you said what you wanted. I did. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
I don't know how to get there. When does your lease expire? Do you know?
My lease expires in July. I'm trying to get out of here in the next few months.
Okay. Miss Mills, I hear you. It's okay. I'm hearing everything you're saying, and I know you're trying to just tell me all of that. Okay. So
yes.
Just do this. Get the escrow paid. I'll set a hearing then for January 10th, 2025 at 12 noon. That's in person.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I tell you one more thing?
Can I stop you?
No.
No,
yeah,
go
you can. You
No,
I just wanted to let you know that my January rent is going to be late. I can't pay that until a week from now. But I have the 2,300 right now.
Okay, put the 23 in, and then you think you'll have the January rent by what? Will you have it by the 9th?
Yeah, I get paid every other Wednesday, so not next week, but the following week. Gotcha.
On the 8th, you get paid.
Yes, sir.
And so you'll have it on the 9th. Okay. Just put the 23 or 25, 22.75.69, put that in the court escrow now, and then the January rent, get that in by the 9th.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. Of January. And then I'll set your hearing for the 10th at 12 noon.
Okay. Thank you, Judge Simpson.
All right.
Have a better day and happy holiday.
Yes, and happy holidays to you. Get that written answer. Get that list into me, okay?
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right. You
Thank
take
you.
care.
You too. Bye-bye.
I'm going to get a hat like that too.
Thank you,
Take
Judge
care.
Simpson. Bye.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Oh, okay. Can you hear
That
me?
matters. Yes. Your name is Miss There?
Yes, Elizabeth, yes.
Okay, your case is dismissed.
Now this third case might seem small compared to the others, but don't underestimate it. A 100 dispute over late fees can actually represent a much bigger issue. Fairness in billing. The tenant insists everything was paid on time, yet she was still charged. And here's the legal catch. Once a case is dismissed, it's essentially over. That means those charges stay unless challenged separately. The judge gives her a choice. Accept dismissal or continue fighting. And that moment is crucial. Because sometimes it's not about the amount, it's about principle. Would you let 100 go? Or would you fight it to prove a point?
What about the 50, I have two $50 late fees that I've been charged for November and for December. And as I told you, I have received, everything's been paid, even January. So I should, and it was never late. Nothing was ever late. So I would ask the court to refund, that they refund that
I can't
$100.
do, ma'am, I
Yes.
can't do that. What I can do is I cannot accept the dismissal, set you over to the 10th, and we can get it worked out then.
You're saying if I accept your dismissal, I have to accept that they charge me an extra $100?
Ma'am, I am not saying anything. If you don't want me to dismiss it, I won't dismiss it. I will set it on its litigation track. You will get it set for January 10th.
Okay, but where does it stand right now about the late fees when you said it was dismissed? Okay.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Ms. Kazari,
No,
I'll
I
let
don't
you
wanna-
guys,
I wanna dismiss
I'll
it.
let,
No,
no,
no.
ma'am, here's what I'm gonna do. Ms. Kazari, I'll let you check into the late fees on this. I'm going to adjourn this over to January 10th.
Can we please
2000.
dismiss it?
Pardon?
Can we please dismiss it? I just want it to go away. There's all kinds of problems here at Huron Vista. And I guess you're not the one to talk to about it, but I just
Well,
want this
ma'am,
problem
I
to go
will
away.
deal with it, but I can't deal with it today. I don't have a ledger in front of me. I can't even begin to work it out for you. But I will do,
Okay,
if you
but-
don't want to dismiss and want the $50 for each of those months, at least somebody to look at it, I'll set you over to another date and I'll look at it.
Okay, but do I have to come in person? I don't have a vehicle and I'm a senior and I'm disabled.
Here's what I'll do. January 10th, 2025 at 12 noon. I will permit this time you to appear in or by Zoom. All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
And on behalf of Mr. Burrows, Mr. Burrow, please state your name for the record.
Deshaun Burrows, can I speak, Your Honor?
Why don't we let the prosecutor put her appearance on?
Have at it.
What do you want to speak?
All right.
Your neglect.
Pardon?
Neglect. You told this man to,
Oh, which man?
this gentleman right here, about my dog last, on 29th, to send him a note at the Humane Society. He never done it.
Sorry, Judge, if I might. We were here about 2 weeks ago, at which time the court said that you will be willing to sign an order for his dog not to be euthanized at the Humane Society.
Correct.
I did send a stipend order to Ms. Hughes on that matter. She asked that I just do a order without a stip. I've emailed that to your court officer and I have a copy here in my hand for your signature, Your Honor.
A week after the fact. I called him maybe like 5-6 days later to see what's going on with that.
Okay. So, sir,
Yes.
frankly, the dog has nothing to do with your case.
Okay.
Mr. Feaster is not your caretaker.
Understand?
Mr. Feaster didn't have to do anything. I asked if he would do that because that was a concern of yours. He
Understand.
did it, but he can't do it alone. He needed his prosecutor to sign off on it and then to get it over to me. So for you to sit here before this court and say in any way Mr. Feaster has been derelict in anything that he's done, that has never been the way that he has behaved before this court. He did not do so at this point, and quite frankly, you owe your attorney an apology.
I apologize.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Now maybe we get down to the business of the case.
Thank you, Judge. In trying to move these matters forward for Mr. Burrows, we could set these matters for preliminary examination, please, Judge.
This is the order
Yes, Judge.
that he was derelict in getting to us. Discovery is complete.
That's my understanding, Judge, yes.
Do people have their witnesses available on the 26th? Preliminary examination in this matter will be set in person March 26, 2024, 9 a.m. before me. Okay. For me. Bond will continue. I have signed the order. You want a copy that you can get over to the Humane Society, Mr. Feaster, as your dereliction in your duties?
Thank you so much.
To everything?
Thank you so
You
much.
sure?
I will get it over.
You were sure to get it over there?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Make sure to get a return receipt so we can show it to him, so we don't have to hear this garbage again.
He's asking me to address his bond, Judge.
Seriously?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, go for it.
Sorry, all 3 files are scheduled for exam, right?
Yes,
Thank you. That's
they
all.
are all 3 set on that day. You can.
Thank you very much, Judge, again for signing the order. And just my client, we set the matter for exam to try to get this matter resolved as swiftly as possible for Mr. Burrows. But he still would like me to address his bond. He's asking that you consider releasing him. I made the same argument when we were here last time. And all the same things I said at that time are still true today. And so based on that, Your Honor, he might consider a personal bond so he can go home, take care of his other dogs, make sure that they're going to be healthy and have all the treatments they need.
But nothing's
Oh, and not
changed.
only the dogs, not that other business I gotta take care of.
Nothing's changed since the last time you made the argument and I denied it.
Nothing at all.
I don't need a response. Motion for bond reduction denied. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Now we transition into a completely different case, but one that's just as complex. This isn't just about property. It's about responsibility, liability, and time. A tenant has been keeping horses on someone else's land for years, but now the owner wants them gone. And legally, the property owner has that right. But here's where it gets complicated. There's history, there's damage, and there's risk. Fences are falling apart, animals have escaped before, and liability is becoming a serious concern. This is where the law meets real-life consequences. And trust me, the emotional side of this case is just getting started.
You hear me, sir?
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. You're welcome. Go ahead, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ours is a simple, non-residential eviction case. Mr. Lonsway, the defendant in possession, Mr. Talaski, the defendant in possession, has been leasing the fields at the property 10 years for horses. He's received the notice to quit, which was sent to him December 6th, 2023, informing him to remove his horses and vacate the property by February 1st, and he has not done so. It is a fundamental principle of property law that a fee simple property owner has the right to exclude anyone from their property for any reason or no reason at all. We're not obliged to justify to the defendant or this court the reason for the eviction, but in the interest of fairness and to put it on the record, we'd like to do that.
You're going to give me a lecture on doing for 35 years?
Well, no, I know, sir. You're quite qualified. I know that. This is simply, it has nothing to do with animosity. It's purely a question of liability. Maintaining this property for the keeping of horses has become prohibitively expensive. The fences around the property are rotting and fallen down. Whole sections of the fence are being held up by steel posts wired to the rotting fences. My client intends to just tear down the fences because of their disrepair. The defendant's horses got out on 3 occasions last year, and luckily they stayed on the property, but we fear they will wander into the road or worse. There are other annoyances, but they pale by comparison to the liability and the fence repair cost issues, which my client simply cannot keep up with. The defendant needs to get out immediately and hopefully pay my client for the months that he has overstayed. This is not an eviction for failure to pay, although he has failed to pay. Either way, we need as soon as possible. Thank you.
Okay, it's far hard for me to hear what I'd like to see what he said, but anyway, go ahead. My turn?
Yes.
Okay. I've been doing horses for 50 years in this area. Whitmore Lake, Livingston County, Oakland County, and I was at places 18 years. This place with Mr. Lonsway was 12 years, and this all started in November of 2021 when they had a big cow barn. He has 3 pastures that I rented, and he had a big cow barn that it burned down. It burned down because Mr. Lonsway put a chicken coop inside the barn with a heat lamp, And I was called by neighbors that the barn was burning, and the police, the fire department were out there. It's a long driveway, and they were pumping water, and they finally put the fire out, and so everything of mine was destroyed. Everything that Mr. Landry had, tractors, canoes, he had the machinery, new roof, silos were out there, and he, it burned down, and that was not my fault. And Mr. Landry approached me and said, the horses can stay here, although they were now in one pasture. And so I accepted that, and I didn't demand him to do anything to me or reimburse me. And so
Sir, let me just ask you, is there a written agreement for the leasing of the land?
yeah, we signed an agreement 2010. Okay, we had a
For how long?
then I don't think it said anything. It was just started to protect Mr. Landry because we had a kind of a disagreement with some people about cutting the hay in a hay field. And so he just said, well, we need a lease down there. How much was it? And eventually it went up $200 a month. And
Well, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is when did that lease expire?
didn't never expire. Never, there was no limit other than Mr. Landry filed for me to leave probably 2003.
Okay, but
Go ahead.
that would have been before the written agreement.
No,
Right.
that was after the agreement. Yeah.
So when was the written agreement?
Huh?
When was the written agreement? I heard you wrong, maybe.
2010, something like that.
All right, but you said he filed to have you leave in 2003? Or
No,
did you mean
no.
2013?
No, 2023.
23.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Well, the problem was, okay, just another thing. So about 6 months later, he was cleaning up, and he got the idea the horses were getting out after the barn burned down, and we went and fixed the fences up, so they were confined. But 6 or 8 months later, he came up with that the horses were getting out, and he was liable, which wasn't true. They never got out before. And he said I had to leave. And so then.
Okay. So first of all, help me. How many horses are there?
There were 3 on one side, 1 on the other side.
So a total of 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you not have a place to put them?
No,
Is that
well,
the issue?
another problem happened.
Okay.
I got, so on 1 August of last year, I was bringing hay to the horses, or I went to buy hay. I couldn't buy the square bales, so I looked for some round bales. I found 2 of them. And so I loaded them up and I brought them to one was a big one was a small one. I loaded the small one when I got to the farm into one paddock, and I went to unload the big one, and I couldn't. It wouldn't move. And I tried everything that I could do, run up the vehicle, run down and see if it would move. It maybe moved a little and sat back. So fine, and I didn't have any ropes, which I usually had because they were all burned up. And so I went up there one more time, tried to push it off, and I got my legs and caught in the hay, and they just, I was kept there by I fell off the back of the pickup. My legs stayed in. I laid on the ground. There was nobody there. I started to call for help, but the driveway was 150 yards. So I laid there till 4 in the morning, from 4 o'clock until 4 in the morning. Then the daughter came and she heard me. I don't know if she was with somebody, but I tried to tell him to move the bail, but then I said, call 911. So I ended up in U of M hospital for 8 weeks because my leg was so swollen. U of M and rehab. Finally, I got out in October, 1 October.
Okay, so what does this have to do with you being on the property?
Because I had to do this with this leg, and it's still bad. It's still bad for me.
Okay.
And I need somebody to help me, feed the horses with these round bales, which gives me time to look for a place and to try to heal. I have an appointment. I had one appointment with VA, and she looked at me and said, well, let's wait till to April, and we'll look at it again. And I want to find out what's my prognosis, because I can't feed the horses the way I want to give me time. Otherwise, I'd have to be there every day. And I live in Monroe, and I have to drive 50 miles. So I'm looking for them for at least 30 days, but maybe 60 days, to see how I'm going to do, keep the horses there, pay my rent. And Mr. Lanchway said I could stay, and then he changed his mind based on error, if nothing else. Go ahead.
Okay, but what I'm hearing
Yes.
is that you'll move the horses.
What?
That you'll move the horses.
Eventually, yeah, I have to move the horses.
Well, eventually is probably the problem.
Well, right, yeah. Because I'm in Monroe now. I have been there only a couple of years. I haven't found a place. I had one place lined up. They changed their mind. So go ahead.
So I get back to my question. How long do you think you need? I'm not
Well,
saying you'll get it, but how long do you need to get the horses?
Well, I have an idea on the 2nd of April, but I would need at least 30 days to stay and have somebody there that will help me. I know he will. And so I can look for some more. I'd rather have 60 days.
No, I know, but just so I'm clear what you're telling me.
Yes.
You're telling me that in 30 days, you could have the horses moved.
If everything goes right, yeah, I could probably do that, but I don't want to be alone at a new place without insurance that my leg will help me do the chores that I need.
No, I understand that,
Yes.
but the issue isn't that part of it. The issue is that the horses need to be moved.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you're in agreement to that. It's just
Oh,
the
sure.
timing of the move.
Yes.
All right. Counsel, how soon is there any leeway you have regarding when the horses will move? Because I will just say this.
Yes, sir.
If it had to go to a judgment, you had to have the horses removed. And that means you're going to have to call somebody to move the horses, potentially board them. And that's an expense that your client will initially at least incur. So balancing that, is there any leeway in terms of time of the move of the horses?
The defendant's had far longer than the statutory notice. He was on notice of this 9 months ago. We can accommodate 30 days. That's not unreasonable given Mr. Tuleski's situation, or somewhere thereabouts. 60 is probably a little bit too long. I wouldn't like to face my client and tell him that's how long it was, but 30 to 60 would be acceptable. Yes.
I pay on the 15th of the month. So I would like to, continue that 15th of the month, 60 days in advance. And that's the way I've been paying. And just to keep the math right, so whatever the date is, it should be the 15th of the month. So today is 15th of the month, but I think after 2 April, and I see the VA, I'll have a better idea, and 15, so. But anyway, that's what I think would be fair. Go ahead.
Okay. If I gave you 30 days from today, and I can't, here's the problem. I feel for you regarding your leg,
Yeah.
but I can't condition the moving of the horses on that. Okay. I can't say, well, once you get better, then that's when it will happen.
Yeah.
I certainly can take that into consideration, but it seems to me that the issue here is that if you had them out by the week of the 15th, gave you that 15th of April, could you do that?
Again, I'd have to see what is available on the 2nd.
Okay, but
Now the judge lays out the reality, and it's serious. Whether the defendant is ready or not, the property owner is going to win possession. The only question left is timing. And this is where the judge does something very important. He tries to prevent a worst-case scenario. Because if this drags on, it won't just be paperwork. It could involve the sheriff, forced removal, and even the Humane Society stepping in. That's stressful, expensive, and chaotic for everyone involved. So instead of letting it escalate, the judge pushes both sides toward a controlled solution. This is what good judging looks like, balancing law with practicality.
here's going to be the,
What I would be doing,
sir, here's going to be the problem.
yes,
They're going to get a judgment for possession. The question is when will they be able to execute on that judgment to basically forcibly remove the horses from the premises? All right. If they do that, it's going to be a problem for everybody, quite frankly. Whenever we get into these cases, it's a problem all around.
yes.
Don't want to get to that point. So we're going to have to pick a date, and somehow or another, that date is going to have to be the date that happens, unless you guys come to some other thing, if something happens.
Yeah.
But that's going to be the date of the court's order.
Well, how about 30 April? 30 April. 30 April would be,
Counsel?
We can accept that, provided there's some type of penalty if he doesn't have them out. We can just turn the horses out, and what happens to them happens. My client is not in the position of being able to.
Well, you
caring for his horses.
Can't do that, because if you you can't just let them run. If it gets to that date, he's got to.
Then what surety do we have, Your Honor, that he gets them out on the 30th? If you have a suggestion,
Well,
I'd like to hear it.
The only surety that you have is you'd have to call the sheriff's department to execute on a writ. And then the reality of what happens in these situations is you call the Humane Society comes out, gets the horses. I don't know if they're still doing that, but that will the last time this was done, that takes time because the Humane Society doesn't board the horses themselves. So then they have to find individuals to take the horses, which won't happen overnight.
I'm learning far more about this than I ever wanted to know.
If you're asking for some guarantee, I can't give you a guarantee except a date where you can then exercise your legal remedies.
Correct.
Okay.
That's the best that I can do.
Okay, I still plan to pay rent. I have money in my pocket. And so, he refused to take my money, so I'm willing to pay.
Okay, so how much are you behind? So let's get.
Okay, 15 January, 15 February, that's 1 month. February to March is 2 months. I got that in my pocket.
So
then
you would be paid through March 15th. You're saying with what's in your pocket.
Yes. That's today. Yeah.
Okay, and how much is rent?
$200 a month.
Okay, so you have 400.
Yes.
That you can get to the plant.
I can get.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. When could you get the March 15th to April 15th payment made?
Oh, anytime. I mean.
Okay,
I was gonna do it yesterday, but.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grant them a judgment for possession with the writ date being April 30th, 2024.
Thank you.
You're to pay to the plaintiff the 400 plus an additional 300,
Yes.
which will then be half. I'm taking half of April.
yeah.
So you'll pay the 15 days in April.
That'd be fine.
All right.
I can write him a check. I can write him a check today.
Okay. I'll let you guys handle that because that's really not part of the case, but I'm going to order that be paid. Otherwise, I'll issue a writ sooner. Okay. So you pay through the 30th. You're going to be paying to the plaintiff a total of $700, which is really the
Right,
400
yeah.
that you have
Sure.
the next month and then the 15 days.
Well, I'll pay him when, okay, that's fine. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then a writ would issue on the 30th. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I need a judgment. You're welcome.
You have one here that I can fill out?
I don't.
Not you.
Are we good to go?
But I think they might have some up front at the front counter.
I have a
I'll sign.
blurb here. Would you like to have this?
What's the blurb?
Well, what happened over the years. I gave him.
You want me to read history?
Yeah. It's up
I became a lawyer, so I don't have to do history or math.
All
All right.
That's what I usually tell clients.
All right. And sir, you're a veteran?
Yes, sir.
What branch?
Retired Army.
Army?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are
you?
Thank you for your service. No, my dad was in, but thank you for your service.
Thank you.
All right.
Support.
Because I didn't have to serve because of people like you that did. And I'm always mindful of that.
Huh? Oh,
All right.
thank you.
All right.
Thanks. That's right. Thank
She
you.
wasn't trying to take you in. All right. Take care.
This entire courtroom session is a perfect example of how different legal situations require completely different approaches. In the first case, Judge Simpson enforced respect and accountability, making it clear that false accusations won't be tolerated. In the second, he stood firm on legal consistency, denying a motion that had no new basis. And in the final case, he carefully balanced property rights with human hardship, giving the defendant time but still enforcing a clear deadline. At the end of the day, the law isn't just about rules, it's about applying those rules fairly in complex, real-life situations. And Judge Simpson shows exactly how that's done. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think was right here? And don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.